Hello, bearded bee people. Okay, so I am making it a point to talk more on this channel about mites, because it is the most important thing that I can get through to beginning beekeepers, the importance of proper mite management. A lot of, us want to think that we can do these things naturally and take care of our bees the way they were taken care of in the 1800s, and everything's so nice and natural and beautiful, but unfortunately that's not the way things are nowadays. These bees have been bred and selected for beekeeping things for generations, for hundreds of years, and for that reason they're more akin to a dairy cow than a wild deer, so we need to think of them more like we think of dairy cows or your horses or anything like that. And that is, when your horse gets sick, you give it medicine. You make sure that it's better, because otherwise your horse dies and everybody's sad, and that's not what we want to happen. The same kind of concept needs to be applied to our bees. When they get sick, we need to take action. We need to keep them healthy, if for no other reason than the general beekeeping community and general beekeeping industry, because we can spread those diseases and spread those mites. So it's our responsibility to take care of these issues. Now, there are a lot of different ways that you can do that, and when I say disease, I'm talking about mites. Mites go hand in hand with a lot of different diseases. Deformed wing virus being the first and foremost, but there are a bunch of other viruses and bacterial issues that mites can bring with them. And a lot of these issues are, like deformed wing virus used to be an innocuous infection. It was kind of, everything had it, but was able to deal with it. And then the varroa mite comes along and starts biologically carrying this virus around, and this virus starts mutating, and then these mites infect these larvae with these diseases. And being infected like that directly into the hemolymph, or the blood of the larva, makes this disease way more of an issue, way bigger of an issue than it used to be without the mite. So those and many other reasons are why it's very important to take care of our mites. And this can be an overwhelming topic for beginners, so I want this video to be a general, how to come up with a plan for the year to manage your bees and manage the mites. So there are two different types of treatments that I like, and they're both organic acids. And when I say organic, organic means with carbon, but also it means naturally occurring. So we're talking about formic acid and oxalic acid when we're talking about, organic miticides. Formic acid is the stuff that hurts when you brush up against stinging nettle. It's also the stuff that hurts when you get bit by a fire ant. And oxalic acid is evident in honey and in a lot of other plants out there. So we use these two acids to battle the mite load, and in two different methods. So the formic acid comes in a form called Mite Away Quick Strips. You may have heard of it. I refer to it as MAQS, M-A-Q-S. And it is just a brilliant method to be able to treat your bees. It's very simple, it's very easy, and it's very effective. The Mite Away Quick Strips are effective on both life cycles of the mite, where the phoretic mites are on the bodies of the adult bees, and the foundress mites are underneath brood cappings. So to affect both of those makes it a very thorough and complete treatment. Now, I have to say though, misuse of Mite Away Quick Strips can be very problematic. So you have to follow the directions on the label on the box to a T. The temperature has to be below 90 or 95 degrees, especially within the first couple days of treating. You have to have full ventilation in the hive. I like to have the full bottom entrance wide open, and then also a top entrance. And then in addition to that, I like to only apply Mite Away Quick Strips to very strong hives, hives that are fully occupying the cavity that they're in. That way they have the ability to ventilate the air throughout that hive, and the formic acid isn't quite as damaging then. But if you fail to follow any of those rules, the formic acid can be very damaging. It can kill a lot of brood, it can kill a lot of bees, it can hurt your queen, so just be careful. Yeah, be careful. It's very, very good treatment when used correctly, but it can be very damaging to your bees if you're not using it correctly. So, the other organic acid is oxalic acid, and that is a little bit different. We apply it in a different way. We apply it through vaporization. We've got a fancy vaporizer that heats this oxalic acid, these oxalic acid crystals, and these crystals sublimate into a gas. And this gas we cloud the inside of the hive with, and it's very effective at killing the phoretic mites. Now, oxalic acid does not affect the foundress mites at all, so you have to be aware of that and use the treatment being aware of that. So, to consider it a full treatment on par with Mite Away Quick Strip treatment, you have to do 3 separate applications of the oxalic acid, either 5 or 7 days apart. That way, as the mites that are underneath the brood cappings emerge, then you blast them again, and those are killed, and then the ones that were under the brood cappings, but under younger brood cappings, emerge, and then you blast them again, and then that third treatment is likely to be 90 or 98% mite drop. A lot of people use oxalic acid in a different way, use it once per month. There are a lot of different ways, but just be aware of the fact that it does not affect the foundress mites, the mites underneath the brood cappings, at all. Okay, and so the third method of mite management that I very much like and very much recommend to everybody is splitting. So you split your hive walk-away split style once every year, and while those bees are creating a queen, and while that queen is developing and maturing to the point where she can go out and get mated, there's no brood being reared in that hive at all. So during that period, the mites don't have an ability to go into open brood and make more mites. And during that period, a lot of mites drop, a lot of mites get lost out in the field, and then naturally some mites die. So that is what we call breaking the mite cycle, the brood cycle, and that is quite effective. I mean, it's surprisingly effective. So those are the 3 methods that I very much like, and I would suggest learning everything you can about those 3 methods and utilizing those throughout the year as a part of your integrated pest management system. So I will hopefully do more specific videos absolutely on how to use both of those treatments, and I already have a how to do a walk-away split. The video is called How to Split Your Hive the Easy Way. I will put a link in the description. So yeah, I hope this video helps you utilize those treatments and change kind of your conception of what these bees are. These are, domestic livestock rather than natural animals that we just so happen to be giving a home to. And for that reason, they need our help. But it's okay, because there is help out there. You just have to learn how to use it. So, thank you for watching. I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys take it to heart and utilize these plans and these ideas in your own apiary, and therefore you'll have some happy and healthy bees. So, cool. Thanks for watching. Get out there and have some fun with your bees. See ya.